I guess it's, yeah. It's trial time. Let's go. This is it. Judgment Day. Today things are going to get settled at last. A lot of things. Ah! We're getting shocked again? What's the big idea? Sorry, Nick. I only touched your shoulder. I guess the shock hasn't worn off from my running with the stun gun yesterday. Anyhow, today's the last day of the trial. Good luck, Nick. Yeah, thanks, Maya. Edgeworth is looking glum as always. I hope Von Karma doesn't push him too hard. Whoa! What are you doing? Sorry. I just thought I'd cheer you up with a pat on the back. Maya, maybe you should go outside and discharge. Yeah, don't go touching any like computers, because if you touch a computer like, while you still could like have static shock, you would definitely wreck it. All right, go outside. Try not to electrocute anyone on your way out. Ah, pow! Just shocking everyone. What's going on that girl? Detective Gumshoe. Morning, Mr. Edgeworth. Good morning. How did it go, Detective? Have no fear, as promised, I've captured our runaway caretaker. I just brought him in. Took all night, pal. Well, thanks, Detective Gumshoe. You must be tired. Actually, after that shock I got on the way in, I feel pretty good. Yogi says he's forgotten his own name, but that has to be a lie. Why would he want revenge on Edgeworth if he couldn't remember his past? He does remember. I'm gonna prove it. Alright. I can only assume this is the final court section. We have to prove everything, or else we lose. It's all or nothing. Let's see, let me just review the evidence, you know, make sure I don't forget something. Again, that small detail I always forget. Those small little details. Gotta pay attention. Attorney's badge. No, that's not relevant. Okay, autopsy died sometime between 24th and 25th, so approximately 1 meter away. There's this lake photo, we can only assume is Yogi's over here and Edgeworth is over here. That's what we know so far, at least that's Phoenix's theory. An old photograph of Misty Faye, somehow, you know, related to the DL6 incident. I don't know how important this is, but maybe. Here's the map. Supposedly the crime scene took place here. Pistol bullet found. There's ballistic markings that show that it's from this pistol. It was shown 3 times. It has fingerprints of Edgeworth's right hand. Okay. Metal detector. I don't know if that's useful. Parrot. It's Polly. Answers the name Polly. I say Polly before I can say anything. You know, or rather, if it could respond to anything. It says hello, hello, and also says 1228 for the safe. And also, don't forget the DL6 incident, apparently. Polly, don't forget about the DL6 incident. And here's the DL6 summary, I guess. Yeah. On December 28th, 2001, 15 years ago. I guess it's 2016 in this game's timeline, anyway. Took place in the elevator in District Courthouse, this very same courthouse. There was the oxygen in the elevator was depleted, no clues found. Gregory Edgeworth trapped in an elevator with Miles Edgeworth, his son, 9 years old. 1 bullet found in the heart. The murder weapons was fired twice. Suspect was Yanni Yogi, court bailiff, trapped in an elevator with Edgeworth. Memory loss due to oxygen deprivation after his arrest. Fiancée Polly Jenkins committed suicide. I didn't know about that. Interesting. I guess that's why the parrot is named Polly. Polly Jenkins committed suicide. I guess, yeah, that's one of the reasons why he wants revenge on Edgeworth. Ruin his life? I don't know. Okay. Dead dad. He's dead over here. Like this weird bullet thing here. I guess because it's fired twice. Boom, boom, like that. I don't know. And DL6 bullet. This was found in Gregory Edgeworth's heart. Still bears clear ballistic markings. Interesting. But which gun does it belong to? I don't know. We don't have that, unfortunately. Maybe Von Karma has that, you know? Because he stole a lot of evidence, right? Court is now in session for the trial of Miles Edgeworth. The defense is ready, Your Honor. The prosecution is ready. Right, very well. We have reached the final day of our proceedings in this trial. I ask that the prosecution submit decisive evidence. Understood. Come on, don't be awed into silence by every little thing he says. Very well, Mr. Von Karma, your opening statement. Right. Thanks to Detective Gumshoe's efforts, the boat rental shop caretaker has been arrested. In yesterday's trial, the defense asserted that the caretaker was the murderer. However, the caretaker is yet to confirm this. I would like to ask the defense to cross-examine him as much as necessary. Very well. Please bring the witness into the courtroom. Okay. Why did you run away? I don't know. Ladies and gentlemen of the court, I believe you all remember our witness. He lives in the boat rental shop on the lake, from where he witnessed the incident. In addition, he has currently lost memory of his name and identity. Witness, why did you run away yesterday? The witness was not running away, as he will now testify. I see. Very well, please begin your testimony. Okay. Why did you leave? I'm really sorry about just leaving yesterday like I did. But I wasn't running away or nothing. I went to buy some food for Polly, you see? I figured I got nothing to do with this incident anyhow. I mean, I need one of those motive things, right? I don't got one. So my testimony yesterday stands as is. That's it? Went out and got some food? Very well. Let's begin the cross-examination, shall we? Oh, he has to know his name. Yanni Yogi. You're Yanni Yogi, I'm gonna prove it. How are we gonna prove it, though? Maybe he's just gonna deny everything, I assume. Are you really sorry? I caught what you did running away and not just leaving. You heard Larry's testimony and realized you were in danger. Now, Mr. Wright, there's no need to rush to conclusions. As I said, the witness was not running away. Listen to the testimony. He sure seems relaxed. In fact, they both do. Von Karma and Yanni Yogi. Then why did you leave? He's just about to say why. Is it so hard for you to just quietly listen when someone is talking? If I sat quietly, Edgeworth would be guilty in 3 minutes. Buy some food. Food. Well, Polly's a bit of a gourmand, you see. She only eats these high-quality bird pellets from France. They only have them in the big pet shop downtown. But you weren't arrested until this morning. Why did you go back to the caretaker's shack? Well, I kinda got lost, you see. The witness has trouble remembering things sometimes. When the police apprehended him, he was on his way back to the shack. Yeah, right. Nice try, Von Karma. No one's gonna believe that. I see. So he was lost. Damn it. Please, Your Honor, come to your senses. I fear I got nothing to do with this incident anyhow. You've lost much of your memory, is that correct? Yep. Seems like it. And how could you know that you didn't have anything to do with this incident? Or maybe you're lying about not having your memory, You know exactly who you are. The witness has testified quite clearly that he has no memory of who he is. If you claim he's lying, then show the court proof. How am I supposed to prove what's going on in that old codger? Old codger's head? That's impossible. I'm glad you come to your senses, Mr. Wright. Very well, witness, please continue. Okay. How are we gonna prove it? I don't know. How can you say you had no motive? I say you do. You had a grudge against Edgeworth and the victim, Robert Hammond. That's why you took revenge on them, right?
Please don't make me repeat myself, Mr. Wright. This witness has no memory of anything beyond several years ago. He can't hold a grudge. It's impossible.
I have to prove he's lying about his memory. Otherwise, it's going to be the same thing over and over until the trial ends.
Might I say something, Mr. Wright?
Yes, Your Honor.
You've been saying the same thing now over and over. You've been calling the witness's memory of the past or lack thereof into question. Well, does this really have anything to do with the current case?
Of course, Your Honor. Witness has said he has nothing to do with this case and no motive. Both of these statements are lies.
Order, order. Mr. Wright, there's a serious problem with your claim. Are you saying you know who this witness is?
Of course, Your Honor. You know, it would be easy to prove if we had that letter, but we don't have that letter, so I don't know. Yanni Yogi, this is my proof. The game already put his name in the profile, so it must be him. I don't know. Maybe not. Hasn't lost a case. His mother, the victim, Roseburg, Larry Bots, Gregory Edgeworth. He's dead. And okay, anyway, just look at those profiles for a little bit. Why not?
Oh, now this is interesting. I would like to know myself. So, who is he?
Don't play dumb, Von Karma.
Mr. Wright, please tell us this witness's name.
Well, obviously, he's Gregory Edgeworth. He's a zombie now. He survived the bullet to his chest. Obviously. Anyway, no. His name is Yanni Yogi, a former court bailiff.
Yogi? That name seems familiar. Oh, Yanni Yogi, from the DL6 incident.
It figures the judge would have heard of it. It was such a famous case.
But what does this mean? What does it mean?
Your Honor, if this man is Mr. Yogi, then he has a clear motive.
Tisk. Jumping to conclusions again, Mr. Wright. That often gives you a penalty in these games, you know. This witness is Yanni Yogi. Fascinating. However, how do you propose to prove this to the court? This is a court of law, as you may recall. You need proof. Allow me to repeat once more that the witness has lost his memory.
Well, this is it. Do we have proof? Polly? Maybe? The fact that his parent is named Polly? That's kind of... I don't know, that's decisive evidence. Could be a big coincidence, I don't know. I have to do this now. If I can't prove he's Yogi right here, right now, then I got nowhere else to go. Nick, how are you gonna prove it? How can you prove that he's Yanni Yogi? It's okay. It's actually quite simple. It is? Your Honor, please take this man's fingerprints. Then we'll compare them to the fingerprints on file for Yanni Yogi 15 years ago.
I see. That makes sense. Tisk.
Huh?
I'm so very, very sorry, Mr. Wright.
Why?
The witness has no fingerprints.
What? What? No fingerprints?
You see, before I worked as a caretaker, I worked at a chemical plant. I burned my fingers working with the stuff. Yep.
What? Yogi, you sneak. You burn your fingerprints off to hide your past.
Well, the witness has no fingerprints. I guess we will not be able to prove his identity.
No.
Tisk. Well, what will you do, Mr. Wright?
Oh.
It seems that the case has been decided, no?
No. I know what happened. I know everything. I just can't prove it. But no, I can't let it end like this. I can't lose. There has to be another way.
There is no one who can testify as to who this witness is. No one.
Nick, what are we gonna do? I didn't even consider that he might have erased his fingerprints. What do I do?
Tisk tisk tisk. Well, Mr. Wright, perhaps you'd like to cross-examine his parrot for a little comic relief.
Yeah, very funny. You're a sore winner, Ron Karma. Chotomate? Cross-examine his parrot? What is it, Nick? No, you're not gonna... Your Honor? The defense would like to take Mr. Von Karma's up on his proposal. Take Mr. Von Karma up?
On my proposal?
Exactly, Your Honor. I would like to cross-examine the witness's pet parrot. What's that, Nani?
Order. Oh, well, what do you think, Mr. Von Karma? Need you even ask? This is a farce. I object.
Wait a second. You were the one who suggested I cross-examine the parrot, Von Karma. I have a right to do as you suggested.
Well, if you're so desperate, then please be my guest. Of course, should you go through this, and nothing comes out of it, then I hope you're ready for the consequences.
Nick, this is crazy.
Well, still want to go through your little game?
Yeah, I'm fucking doing it. I'm gonna fucking talk to a parrot. Let the parrot take the stand. I will cross-examine her, Your Honor.
This is the most ridiculous thing I have ever heard.
Von Karma's rigged every person's testimony, every piece of evidence, except the parrot. She's my last chance. At least, I think so. Bailiff, bring in the parrot. We're gonna put a parrot on the stand. I wonder, has this ever happened in real life? Has anyone ever put I guess an animal, on the witness stand? Has anyone ever done that in real life? Maybe. Sometimes real life is crazier than fiction, so who knows? That's quite a bird. Please tell us your name.
Name. The witness is ignoring me.
I must hurt to be ignored by a bird.
Very well, witness. Who is your owner? Please testify for us. Witness testimony. Who is your owner? ...
Hello. Okay.
Certainly the most concise testimony we've had so far. Very well, begin your cross-examination.
Right. What are you gonna do, Nick? I don't know. What do we do, Maya? What are we doing? I mean, we do know that Polly... hold it! Witness, you can't just say hello and expect us to get anywhere. I want you to testify. Maya, you talk to her. Right, what do I say? What's your name? Well, I mean, have we forgotten something, right? That connects the parrot to the DL6 incident. As I recall, 2 days ago... Polly, have we forgotten something? Don't forget DL6! If I can get Polly to say that here, that will prove that the caretaker has something to do with DL6. Polly, have we forgotten something? Hello. What? That's not what you're supposed to say. Forgot something we forgot. Hello. Uh-oh, it's not working, Nick. She won't say it. This is ridiculous. Why won't she say it?
Something about her, Mr. Wright?
Wait. Don't tell me Von Karma expected this. Nani? He couldn't have retrained the parrot, could he? Did he train her not to respond when we asked if we'd forgotten anything? Nani? Oh, oops! I keep pressing wrong. I wanted to. Let's see. Can I press that? Witness, you're here to speak. You must speak to me.
Frankly, I can't believe that you're speaking to the parrot.
There's no contradictions. I contradict your hello. It's a lie. No, I guess press again. How about what's your name? The safe number probably, it's not really relevant. What about her name? Yeah, does that get us anywhere? Polly, what's your name? Polly.
Mr. Wright, I think we established that his parent is named Polly. Does this have anything to do with her owner's identity?
Maybe. I was saying before, in this file, Yanni Yogi, age 37, after his arrest, fiancée Polly Jenkins committed suicide. Polly. It might be one big coincidence, but I guess this game is all about coincidences, so let's go. Yes, it does.
Fascinating. You claim that the parent's name will prove her owner's identity? Then show us this proof.
Nick, don't you think you're taking the bluffing a little too far? Listen, we're not here to answer the question of who is the caretaker. We're here to prove that he is Yanni Yogi. All we have to do is tie the name Polly to Yogi. Your Honor, the proof that the parent's name reveals the caretaker's identity is right over here.
The DL6 case file? That's quite a large file you have there. Which page is this proof on then? Show us or stop wasting our time.
Very well.
Mr. Wright, please show us the page. Where this file is information connected to this parent's name.
Suspect data, right? That's Yanni Yogi. It's on the suspect data page. This page has all the information about Yanni Yogi. Right after he was arrested, his fiancée committed suicide, see?
Indeed. It does say that, yes.
What was his fiancée's name?
Polly Jenkins.
Polly. Exactly, Your Honor. He wanted to remember the name of his fiancée who had committed suicide. That's why he named his parrot after her.
I see, I guess that is possible. Bah, a mere coincidence. That's all. My granddaughter has a dog she calls Phoenix. Well, Mr. Phoenix Wright, does that make you my granddaughter's fiancé? But she's only 7 years old.
FBI, open up!
Indeed. Although that is a little weak for evidence in a murder trial, you would need some other corroborating evidence.
Where am I gonna find that? Nick, we're getting closer. One more. If we can just get one more piece of evidence. Right, but what? Very well, witness, you may continue. Hello. What else can we do? Yeah, that was a weak connection. It's not big of a not a very big connection. What about safe number? Huh? The safe? Why? Well, let's just try to get her to say anything, okay? Polly, what was the number to the safe in the shack? 1228, 1228.
My, what a reckless parrot. Well, Mr. Wright, you are claiming that this number has something to do with the caretaker?
Well, it's our only choice. How does it connect to Yanni Yogi? Again, looking at this case file, 1228. 1228. I guess I didn't notice that. 1228. Interesting. Again, that's a bit of a coincidence, but hey, it's two coincidences. Actually, it does. That's why I had her say it.
Ridiculous. How can a number to a safe tell us who the caretaker is? Show us your proof. What could possibly link this number to the caretaker's true identity? The DL6 case file. What is this obsession you have with that case?
Mr. Wright, where in this file is something relating to a safe number. It's on the case summary page. The case summary. Specifically, the date on which the DL6 incident occurred.
The date of the incident? December 28? Why, that's today's date, 15 years ago.
And the number on that safe is 1228. He used the date of the DL6 incident as the number for his safe, Your Honor. That's how important that date was to him.
I see. It certainly is an interesting coincidence. People often do set their secret numbers to dates. Bah, this is not tangible proof. I set my ATM's card number to 0001 because I'm number 1.
What?
There's nothing to do with date. Nothing. That's enough. I think we've reached a conclusion here. This is a mere coincidence, that's all.
True, that is a possibility. However, two coincidences at the same time seems more like a pattern to me. Well, I don't know, it's a bit of a gambler's fallacy, you know? People often see patterns and random, probabilities, but we're just gonna, go with it.
What are you saying?
Summon the caretaker of the boat shop. Immediately. Witness. Tell us your name.
Wait. This witness, he doesn't remember.
No?
It's okay.
Nani? I've accomplished what I wanted to do.
I'm done.
Nick, he looks totally different. He's not like kooky and crazy anymore. Well, this is the real Yogi, I think. Finally. He's been acting feeble to hide his true identity. Acting for 15 years.
Well, let me ask you again. Please state your name for the court.
My name is Yanni Yogi.
15 years ago, I served as a bailiff in this very court. Order. Yanni Yogi. So was it you who killed Robert Hammond and tried to frame Miles Edgeworth for his death? Yes, it was me. I did it. They put me on the witness stand 15 years ago. Robert Hammond, he said I was mentally unsound. He told me it will make me innocent, get me off the hook. So, I pretended to have brain damage. I was innocent, really, but he didn't believe me. He won the trial, but I lost everything. I lost my job, my fiancé, my social standing. Then, this year, 15 years later, a package arrived. It was a letter and a pistol. The plan was written out in careful detail. It was a plan for me to take my revenge on the people who ruined my life. I didn't care who sent it. I thought this was my chance. After 15 years, this was it. Finally, a chance to have my revenge on Robert Hammond and Miles Edgeworth. I have no regrets. Wait a moment. Revenge against Miles Edgeworth? What do you mean? I'm not at liberty to speak on that matter. Why don't you ask Mr. Edgeworth yourself? Anyway, I admit it. I was the one who killed Robert Hammond. Oh. Von Karma, where is Mr. Yogi? Under arrest, Your Honor. I saw no room for error in his confession. Then the defendant, Miles Edgeworth, is innocent. This case at least. Very well. Would the defendant please take the stand? There are a few mysteries left unsolved. Still, you're clear of suspicion for this particular case. So I would like to pass judgment on the murder of Mr. Robert Hammond. Any objections? I don't believe it.
Why isn't Von Karma saying anything? Very well. This court finds the defendant, Mr. Miles Edgeworth. We did it? Yay! Confetti!
That is all. This court is adjourned.
Did somebody just say objection? It wasn't Von Karma. Wait, but that means... No! Edgeworth?
Your Honor, I object to your judgment.
What is... pointing?
What do you mean? I'm not innocent at all. As we have heard, Yanni Yogi killed Robert Hammond in revenge. But revenge for what?
Nick! Edgeworth is trying to confess. He's gonna say he's guilty. He's gonna tell them he was the murderer in the DL6 incident. He's gonna tell them he killed his own dad. Oh, what do I do? Ah! The judgment has already passed. I object to Edgeworth's outburst.
Didn't something like this happen yesterday too? I believe a certain witness raised an objection after a guilty verdict was passed.
And that would be Larry.
We must hear this new statement. We must hear Miles Edgeworth.
He's right. We have a duty to hear Mr. Edgeworth out.
For 15 years, I've had a reoccurring dream. A nightmare. It's only a nightmare. That's what I told myself. But now I know it wasn't a dream. Yanni Yogi wasn't the killer. You mean, isn't it where your father died? From the distance of the shot, it wasn't suicide either. Everything was as clear as day. The murderer. The criminal in the DL6 incident. It was me. Your Honor, I confess my guilt. I am guilty for DL6, the statute of limitations of which ends today. The culprit is me, even though I'm like pointing. It's kind of weird because it's 2D. I can't really point to myself because I guess no one really like an artist didn't really draw that like pose for me. So I'm just gonna point in to the right. It's fine, or to the left, or is it my right, or is it your left? I don't know. Anyway, order. This is certainly unexpected. The defendant declared innocent is confessing to a different crime. A crime for which the statute of limitations runs out today. I'm not really sure how I should deal with this. Bah. It's obvious. We hold the trial, right here, right now. We tried this man for his crime of 15 years ago. Okay, we're gonna have like another trial within the trial. I think I would like to take a 5-minute recess. During this time, I will consider the appropriate course of action to take. Court is adjourned. Okay. Crazy, but... guess we're gonna do it. I'm sorry, Wright. I've just wasted all your effort. Mr. Edgeworth, I just don't believe it, sir. I mean, you... kill your dad? I didn't want to believe it myself, Detective. But it's the truth. I deserve to be punished. Murder is murder, no matter what the circumstances. This is crazy. Just crazy. Nick, what are you doing? Huh? Oh. I was just reading through the court record once more. Okay. There's a badge. There's an autopsy report. I don't know, Robert. Yeah, I guess the whole Robert incident is, you know, not really relevant right now. Ord Lake. I guess everything related to DL6 is what we're gonna look at. So, Misty Faye, Exhibit A. Old photograph. Pistol... Polly, I guess? Still technically, you know, related. DL6 case file. 28th of December 2001. Elevator. No oxygen. Gregory Edgeworth. With Miles Edgeworth. Bullet in heart. Murder weapon fired twice. Yanni Yogi. Also trapped in there. Apparently pretended to lose his memory, but really he didn't. Photograph. And DL6 bullet. From his heart. I'm getting my case ready. Your case? For what? Huh?
Isn't it obvious? I'm gonna prove that Miles Edgeworth is innocent.
What are you talking about, pal? He just admitted it.
He confessed that he did it in court. I'm sorry, Edgeworth, but I don't believe your nightmare.
What?
It's just a dream. It's not real. The truth is right here in this court record. In any case, tighten your belts. The real fight is just beginning. I'll prove you're innocent. Trust me.
Right.
Okay. How are we gonna do it? I don't know.
Now then, I would like to resume our trial. Judge, Miles Edgeworth has admitted his own guilt. He has confessed his crime. Let us begin by hearing his testimony. Then, though pointless, let the defense do their cross-examining. The statute of limitations on the DL6 incident runs out today. Though it's unconventional for me, I like to run this one by the book. I see. Does the defense have any objections?
No, Your Honor. Von Karma, you knew this was gonna happen from the very beginning, didn't you?
Very well. Will Miles Edgeworth take the stand? Will the witness state his name and profession? Miles Edgeworth, I am a prosecuting attorney. Mr. Edgeworth, 15 years ago you mistakenly killed your father, Gregory Edgeworth. Is this correct?
It is correct.
Then testify about this matter to the court.
When Edgeworth was telling me about his dream yesterday, I noticed something. One detail didn't quite fit. That would be the key, but only if I can get it to work. Please, please. Okay, we're gonna testify, or rather gonna cross-examine Edgeworth, I guess.
That day I had gone to the courtroom to observe one of my father's trials. As we went to leave, an earthquake struck, trapping us in the elevator. My father and Mr. Yogi lost their composure and began to argue. Just then, something heavy fell at my feet. I picked it up and threw it at Mr. Yogi. I wanted them to stop fighting. A moment later, there was a single gunshot, then a scream. It was a terrible scream I remember to this day. That's all. And until now, you thought this memory was a dream. We were stuck in that elevator for 5 hours. The oxygen in the elevator ran out, and I lost my memory of the events. Bah, the same claim Mr. Yogi has made.
Very well. Mr. Wright, your cross-examination, please. Yes, Your Honor. On the court preserve my father's trials. What was the trial your father was involved in on that day?
I don't remember things very clearly. Only 2 things. I know my father lost, and Mr. Von Karma was the prosecuting attorney. A coincidence? Mr. Von Karma, you were handling that case? It was 15 years ago. I don't remember the details.
And that was when Edgeworth pointed out the problem in Von Karma's evidence. Or Gregory Edgeworth, anyway.
As we went to leave, an earthquake struck, trapping us in the elevator.
So there were 3 people, including yourself, trapped in that elevator.
Yes, myself, my father, and Yanni Yogi. We were fine at first, but then as time passed, no one came to help. My father and Mr. Yogi lost their composure and began to argue.
What did you do then?
I was a 9-year-old boy at the time. What could I do? I was scared, trembling in the corner. But then...
something heavy fell at my feet.
What was it? A pistol. I assumed it was the bailiff, Yanni Yogi's. The safety must have come off when it fell from his holster. And you picked it up. What happened next?
I picked it up and threw it at Mr. Yogi. I wanted them to stop fighting. Did you know it was a pistol when you threw it?
I think I knew. I knew it was dangerous. But the air was getting so thick I panicked. So you're saying that you threw the pistol at Mr. Yogi?
I was in a daze. The gun fired once. Yes, I think after I threw it I lost consciousness. Since then, they've echoed in my head every day. That gunshot and that horrible scream. The scream. To this day. Yes, I can practically hear it now. I doubt I will ever forget that scream as long as I live. There it is. One part of that testimony clearly contradicts the evidence. But I don't know what it means. I better find out and quick. Then a scream. Then a scream? Then a scream. The thing is, well, I don't know. Again, I might be jumping the gun. Ironically, a lot of this case is involving guns, but I think what's weird is the fact that why would he hear a scream when someone gets shot in the heart? If you get shot in the heart, wouldn't you die instantly? Why would you scream? I don't know. Then again, I don't know. Am I, again, jumping the gun? Why would you hear a scream? Well, either that or the fact that, well, either that, well, maybe not the scream, but maybe also the fact that the murder weapon was fired twice, That's also a weird contradiction. Like, he heard it, fired twice, but... Or rather, Edgeworth only heard it fire once, but the murder weapon was fired twice. Why is that? It's weird. So I'm gonna do that. Maybe? Yeah. I'm gonna try. Are you sure you only heard one gunshot? Yes, I'm sure of that. I heard the shot and then the scream. And then everything faded. I was unconscious until the rescuers came. I see. No, Your Honor, unfortunately you don't. Look at this file one more time. This plainly contradicts the witness's testimony.
You do enjoy dragging out that file, don't you? I don't accept this evidence unless you can tell us what page it's on. Which page contradicts
every time. Well, this time it's victim data, At first it was suspect, then it was summary, then it was victim. Well, look at the victim data on this file. It says it's quite plainly the murder weapon was fired twice. Miles Edgeworth only heard one gunshot, yet the murder weapon was fired twice. The first shot was the accidental firing when the pistol was thrown. So, who fired the remaining shot?
Was there perhaps another shooter who fired that second shot? Your Honor, as I'm sure you're aware, this incident occurred 15 years ago. The evidence is dated. The pistol did fire twice. However, we do not know when that second shot was fired. It might have been fired that day before the incident. There is no proof that the second shot had anything to do with this incident.
What?
I see.
You do have a point, Mr. Wright. The murder weapons were fired twice, as we've heard. One of those shots was fired by the defendant, a boy at the time. Do you have any proof that the other shot had the fire has something to do with this case? I think I do. Look at this photo again. Look, one shot was fired here. Where did the second shot come from? Right here, because otherwise it wouldn't explain, right? Because it was fired, either it was fired like, I don't know, 3 times? That doesn't make sense. It was only fired twice. It shows one was in his heart, the other one is over here, right? Causes a crack in the glass. You know, otherwise, maybe, you know, someone else had another gun and then also shot it there. I don't know. But, you know, looking at the evidence, that's the only thing we can show, right? The only thing we can prove the fact that there was another shot at the scene of the crime in the DL6 incident. That's all we can really prove, really. So let's see. Your Honor, I think I'll be able to show you proof.
What? Impossible. Bacana.
Now, Mr. Von Karma, I save your surprise for after you've seen the evidence. Very well, Mr. Wright. Show us for your proof. Do you have any evidence that the second firing of the pistols related to this incident? I'm gonna present this. Look at this photograph. This is the photograph of the scene of the crime, 15 years ago. I can see that the victim lying there is Gregory Edgeworth. Well, this proves the murder weapon was fired twice at the time of the incident. This photo proves it. So let me get this straight. This photo proves 2 shots were fired. Where? Your Honor, please get a clue. Wear your glasses, come on. Right here. As should be obvious, the contradiction is here. I see a bullet hole in the door. Your Honor, Gregory Edgeworth was killed by a shot from the pistol, yet there's also a bullet hole in the elevator door. We also know that the murder weapon is fired twice. Thus, someone other than Edgeworth fired that second shot.
Order. Mr. Wright, what are you driving at?
It's simple, Your Honor. At the time of the incident, 2 shots were fired. One went to Gregory Edgeworth's heart. The other hit the elevator door. Remember that the defendant lost consciousness after the shot he fired rang out. In conclusion, he must agree that the second shot was fired by someone else. Or rather, we. We must agree that.
Mr. Wright, but who could that someone else be?
The murderer, of course.
I knew I should have stepped in before your wild fantasies got out of hand. Mr. Wright, look once more at the DL6 incident case file. Look closely. Try the case summary page.
Okay. Air in the elevators consumed 3 at a time. No clues are found in the scene. What are you getting at? On page 1.
Look what is written there. Not a single clue was found on the scene. If the pistol had indeed been fired 2 times, then the other bullet would have been discovered on the scene.
He does have a point.
The second bullet has never been found. Why? Because the second bullet does not exist. The bullet that claimed Gregory Edgeworth's life was the one fired by his own son. That is the truth of this matter. The whole truth. It was undoubtedly something else that made the bullet hole in the door.
Order, I will have order. Mr. Wright has proven one thing to us quite clearly. The murder weapon was fired twice at the time of the incident. However, as Mr. Von Karma says, the second bullet fired was not found. It is highly unlikely that the police merely overlooked this second bullet. So all we have is a single bullet fired. I'm afraid I have to discount the defense's claim.
Tisk. I praise the judge for his wisdom in this matter.
God, how did this happen? I don't believe that the second bullet didn't exist. Was I wrong? Have I been wrong about this whole incident? What are you doing, Nick? Why aren't you raising an objection? Sorry, Maya. What? It looks like I was wrong. Nick? If the second bullet wasn't there, then all my conjectures are for nothing. No. But you said you'd do it, Nick. You said you'd get Edgeworth declared innocent. I'm sorry. It's just, when I saw the photograph, I thought that 2 shots had been fired. I was so certain of it. I thought I'd won. I thought there was another person, someone else who fired the killing shot. But now, I was wrong to think it could have been that simple. This case has stood unsolved for 15 years. Nick.
Well, it seems that we have finally cleared up this incident. Only one bullet was found at the scene of the crime. That shot was fired by Miles Edgeworth. Precisely. I would like to ask one thing of Miles Edgeworth before passing my verdict. Have you been paying attention to the trial so far? Yes, Your Honor. Do you have any objections? No. No, I do not. So you killed your father, though that was not your intention? Yes, I did.
Oh no. He's accepted the guilt.
Very well. The statute of limitations on the murder of Gregory Edgeworth runs out today. Therefore, I must pronounce the verdict on the defendant today, right here. Right now. Indeed. Does anyone have any other objections?
I've been here before. It's just like my first day in court. There's so many things I know I should be saying, but my mind's gone blank. I can't find the words.
Mr. Wright?
Ballistic markings. I don't know. Where will we find the other bullet? Is it this one? No, I mean this is the one that police found, right? Just because the second bullet is gone doesn't mean it's not evident. It's somewhere in this world. It's not like somebody I don't know, threw it into the ocean. I have to object. I object something. Your Honor, I object.
Mr. Wright, on what grounds do you object,
Nick? I don't know. This case is perfect. Oh no. It must exist. The second bullet. What? What did you just say? Nothing. The second bullet must exist. But where? Someone took it.
It seems waiting is not going to produce us any answers from Mr. Wright.
Wait, Your Honor.
The second bullet. It existed.
What?
But we just heard proof that it did not exist.
I realize that, Your Honor. I'm really grasping here. It's just someone took it from the scene of the crime. That's what happened.
But who?
The murderer.
Murderer? Then tell us just who is this murderer?
I'm still thinking about that one.
So the criminal took the second bullet, but why?
Huh?
First of all, how would they have found it? It's not easy to find a stray bullet, Mr. Wright. Was there some pressing need for the murderer to search for the bullet?
I mean... probably, if they're gonna take it, they're gonna have to, right? Of course there was a need. That's why they took it.
Bah! What possible reason could they have had?
Well, the reason the murderer took the bullet away from the scene with them is... well, the bullet would be proof, right? Because the murderer was cautious. That's kind of weird. Because if they're cautious, why would they need to take the bullet? My head hurts. The bullet would be proof. I mean, the bullet would be proof that they were there at the scene of the crime, maybe? Something like that? I mean, the whole reason we have this theory in the first place is, you know, the second bullet would prove that the murderer, like someone else, killed Gregory Edgeworth in the first place, right? That's what we're trying to prove. So that's why. Maybe they thought that the bullet would be used as proof? Proof? It was a special bullet, so they took it with them.
If that was the case, then they should have taken the bullet from inside Gregory as well.
Huh?
Why would they only take one of the two shots fired?
Oh, right. Mr. Wright, have you really thought this through? I'm gonna have to penalize you. Oh, okay. Now, this isn't going so well. Was there some pressing need for the murderer to search for the bullet? Maybe not? Maybe... Why would the murderer have spent the time to look for that stray bullet? I haven't got a clue. What's wrong, Mr. Wright?
Bah, the murderer had no reason to take that bullet. You don't want to admit it, but it's true.
Had to take it. Had to take it. The murderer. What does that mean? You're thinking too normal. Think crazy! You gotta think crazy! Don't think why the bullet was taken. Think why the bullet had to be taken.
Mr. Wright?
Yes, Your Honor.
I have no idea what I'm doing.
Well, the murderer had no intention of taking the bullet from the scene. But, the murderer had to take the bullet.
Had to, Mr. Wright? What do you mean?
Well, for instance... Instance what? Maybe the bullet, hit the murderer?
The bullet hit the murderer?
Just saying, for instance. I mean, if it hit you, you would have to take it with you, wouldn't you? It's not like you could perform surgery right there. You know? Phoenix is just guessing. Oh, wait a second. I was just talking out the top of my head, but what if that's really what happened?
Let me get this straight.
So at the time of the murderer himself was shot, and they left the second bullet still inside of them, thus leaving only one bullet at the scene of the crime. Yes, I guess that's how it would work, yes. But there's a problem with that. The other two people rescued from the elevator, Miles Edgeworth and Yanni Yogi, were both unharmed. But that would mean the murderer came from outside, yes. The two men fight inside the elevator. Trying to stop them, the boy picks up the pistol at his feet and throws it. The pistol discharges, and the bullet goes through the elevator door and hits the murderer outside. The boy loses consciousness. Then the murderer opens the elevator door and sees the men inside.
Mr. Wright, you're truly the most unpredictable defense attorney I've ever known.
I can tell you're grasping, yet I cannot deny the possibility of what you say.
What are you saying? Deny it! Deny it! No one involved in the incident was wounded. There was no murderer.
No one's wounded at the time of the incident. He's right. I can't think of anyone. Hey, Nick. Huh? I just thought of something really crazy. Crazy? Remember what Mr. Grossberg said yesterday?
Greg Edgeworth doesn't deal to his perfect trial record.
Wow. It must have been quite a shock for Von Karma. He took a vacation for several months after that, you see. Yes, an unusual event for the man. That was the first and the last vacation he's taken in his many years of prosecuting. Vacation. What if Von Karma didn't take that vacation because of shock, but took it because he was injured? Which would mean, it could only mean one thing. He was the murderer in the DL6 incident. He was the man who shot Gregory Edgeworth. It was Von Karma. Oh man. Something wrong, Mr. Wright? You seem dazed. No, Your Honor. Well, you have indicated the possibility that the murderer came from outside. Can you give us the name of the suspect? Uh-oh. Should I come out and say it now? Sure. Your Honor, there is a suspect. One lone suspect. Well, this is certainly interesting news. Very well, Mr. Wright. Who is your suspect? My hands are shaking. The what?
Von Karma. Von Karma? You mean the Von Karma, the prosecutor? The one standing right over there? Bah. You don't object? I see no need. Why honor this ridiculous outburst of my objection?
Because you took a vacation for several months, starting the day after the incident. Yet you pride yourself on the perfect record. Why would you take such a long vacation without any reason?
So you're claiming that I took my vacation to heal my injury from the incident? Fascinating. Prove it. I would have needed surgery, no? Where did I go under a knife at, Mr. Wright? Bring the doctor that operated on me. Have him testify.
Nick, let's find out who his doctor is. It's no use. Edgeworth? I know Von Karma. Perhaps too well. He's perfect. He wouldn't leave clues. He probably didn't undergo surgery. That would leave a doctor as a witness. Nobody's that perfect. So what, Nick? Did Von Karma pull the bullet out by himself? That's insane! No, he couldn't have. You can't just pull bullets out of yourself. I mean, yeah, normally if you get shot by a bullet or anything like that, and you don't die from it, do not pull it out, because if you pull it out, it's gonna cause more damage to you than necessary. Often you just leave it there, and then you just, let the bullet plug in the wound, so you don't bleed out to death. Often, in fact, yeah, most people just leave the bullet in there. Wait. What does that mean? That bullet has to be somewhere, but where?
Tisk, tisk, tisk. Well, Mr. Wright, can you produce evidence to prove that I was shot?
Maybe? Alright, Von Karma, I'll prove it. And I'll even use evidence. I know how you like it so much.
What?
The evidence that proves Von Karma was shot is... I believe this? And this is what we kind of stole from him, but as we can see here, it has ballistic markings. So if we can compare this bullet to the bullet that supposedly was never taken out of him, maybe...
What exactly is that?
Oh, sorry. Ah, damn it! Judge if you would. Oh, penalty. Damn it! I'm jumping the gun. Again, I'm jumping the gun. Phoenix Wright, Ace Attorney, jumping the gun. Evidence to prove Von Karma was shot. I don't know. What? I don't know now. I don't know what exactly I'm supposed to prove. Again, I'm grasping for straws. Ballistics markings, right? Ballistic markings. Ballistic markings? Well, I mean, I can take the hit, so let's try again. Again, I'm trying to say, what I'm trying to say is the fact that the bullet itself has ballistic markings, right? Nope, that's wrong. Am I gonna lose? Oh no! If I lose, I have to do this all over again. I don't think there was a save point, during the during the point where Edgeworth, during the point where Edgeworth, admitted his crime or whatever. Am I gonna lose? Ah, darn it. Well, how about this? We're trying to say that only one bullet was found. Where is the other bullet? How do we prove that... How do we prove Von Karma was somehow related? Trapped in an elevator returning from a lost trial with his son. Lost Trial. I mean, that's one thing. That's something that connects Von Karma to the incident. Everything else, not so much, but there's that. Thinking about it again, that's what we're trying to prove, right? His connection to Gregory Edgeworth in the first place. Like, why would he be there? Or maybe? Nope, that's wrong. Well, well. Am I gonna lose? Oh, darn it. I mean, I pretty much used all the DL6 stuff. I think the only thing I can show is DL6, right? This isn't relevant. Alright. The only thing I can really show again maybe is this. But that doesn't... I don't know if that proves anything. Something that proves Von Karma was shot. Something that proves Von Karma was shot. Something that proves Von Karma was shot. Not this. Again, I was trying to say the ballistic markings, but that's not it at all. Again, I think I'm jumping the gun. So what do I need to prove first? I need to prove that he was there, right? I was gonna say, like, you know, he's returning from a lost trial. That lost trial involved Von Karma, right? But then that doesn't matter. I guess it's not. Wait a minute. Oh, makes a noise when metallic objects are near. Wait a am I jumping the gun again? I feel like I'm jumping, not even the gun, I'm jumping the shark. But this is technically evidence. This is not DL6 evidence, but in fact, like, it's not evidence at all, really. It's just a tool we have. I don't know, like, this is what we have in our pockets, apparently, like, or maybe not in our pockets, but it's pretty big, I assume. But it's just a thing we have. It's not really evidence. I'm gonna jump the shark. Von Karma's perfect. He wouldn't risk surgery, leaving an evidence trail. Because I'm thinking, can we just use the metal detector? Just, you know, detect the bullet? So then I ask, where is that bullet now? I think it unlikely that Von Karma performed surgery on himself. You don't mean... I do. There's the possibility that the bullet is still inside Von Karma. I mean, that's what I was trying to get at, but I guess I was thinking about it the wrong way. I was trying to think, like, how do you prove a bullet was inside him? Well, you look at the ballistic markings. I forgot that you're supposed to use a method first. Like, how do you even get the bullet in the first place? Maybe use a metal detector? Because you can't exactly, you know, get a doctor here. It's like, you know, cut Von Karma up and see where the bullet is. I don't think that's possible. Or at the very least, maybe get an x-ray. I guess that would take too long, so maybe, you know, use a metal detector. Is that even possible for all these years? You know, for 15 years, has bullet inside his body? Well, there's one way to find out. We could use this metal detector. Well, Von Karma, I'm gonna run this all over you and see what we find. Okay, he's sweating for once.
I refuse. Otowaru.
You refuse? But refusing this means... you acknowledge that the bullet is still inside you? I don't know, maybe he's a... you know, maybe he has a pacemaker, I don't know. Your Honor, the defense requires that we allow to use the metal detector. So I guess he can't lie about that.
Judge, I call for the suspension of this trial. This is an invasion of privacy.
The statute of limitations runs out on this case today. It was you who said we have to end it right here, right now. Enough. I permit the use of the metal detector. Ms. Von Karma, you will submit yourself to testing. Nick, what does this mean? I don't know, but we have to give it a shot. Beep beep beep. It reacted. Something is inside his right shoulder. The bullet. Mr. Von Karma?
You. It was you. I'm afraid this would happen. And so I remained silent. Indeed, there is a bullet in my shoulder. However, it has nothing to do with this incident.
What?
I was shot in the shoulder long before the DL6 incident. I claim that the bullet in my shoulder has no relation to DL6.
But Mr. Von Karma, can you prove that?
Prove? I have no obligation to prove anything. Ironically, even though I'm the prosecutor, it tends to be, the prosecutors have the burden of proof. But now it is Mr. Wright who must prove something here, not I.
Mr. Wright? Well, can you prove it?
Can you prove that the bullet in Von Karma's shoulder was from DL6? Of course he can't. You don't have any of DL6 evidence.
Well, that's because you took it out of the records room yesterday.
With no proof, you cannot convict me of any crime. So sorry, Mr. Wright.
No, I'm the one who's sorry, Mr. Von Karma.
What?
You were close. One day away from freedom. But you see, I have proof.
What?
Who would have thought you would dig your own grave trying to convict Edgeworth? Convict. I can link that bullet in your shoulder to the DL6 incident. And here's my final proof. It's my badge! No, it's this. Hopefully, unless I get it wrong. If I get this wrong again, we just instantly lose, That'll be anticlimactic. But let's see. I think this is it. This is the bullet, right? We show this bullet because it was shot from the same gun, right? We don't have the actual gun, but it was shot from the same gun. We can compare this bullet to the bullet in his shoulder, and it would have the same ballistic markings as the gun that was shot, right? Usually. So, if it is the same, then we can prove that he is somehow related. And well, if he's related, then the whole theory might be true. The fact that he was there in the first place, that he got shot there, and somehow, if he's related, then we can only conclude that he was the murderer in the DL6 incident. Let's see if I'm completely wrong.
That's a bullet? Where did you get that?
This is the bullet used in the DL6 incident. This was taken from the heart of the victim, Mr. Gregory Edgeworth. The bullet is preserved quite nicely, with all the ballistic markings intact. Ballistic markings. You may recall the term. It came up in the first trial 2 days ago. Ballistic markings are the fingerprints of the weapon, and yeah. Okay, well yeah, this is what I was trying to prove before. I guess, again, I keep jumping the gun. This is Phoenix Wright, jumping the gun. Can't jump the gun. If you jump the gun, then get it wrong because you're trying to prove something that you're not supposed to prove yet. You're supposed to prove something before that, before you can prove that or prove this and something else in the future, or whatever. We have 2 bullets in our possession. One, the bullet removed from Gregory Edgeworth's heart. The other, Mr. Von Karma, is the bullet buried in your shoulder. We can analyze both bullets. Then, if the markings matched, we would know that both bullets have been fired from the same gun. The very same pistol. In other words, the murder weapon that killed Gregory Edgeworth. Mr. Von Karma, you will let us remove the bullet from your shoulder. Then we'll compare the ballistic markings to those on this bullet. And solve this case once and for all. Well, Mr. Von Karma? That scream. I've heard that scream before. Wait, I know. Cap, I can't breathe. Quiet. I said quiet. You're not making a scene here. Stop breathing my air. I'll just stop you. Stop breathing my air. Get away. Get away from my father! Bang! And then, again. It's the same scream.
It's that scream I heard in the elevator 15 years ago. Von Karma, it was you who screamed. Mr. Von Karma. Edgeworth! Only you would dare to defy me. So it's you. You and your father are my curse. Your father shamed me with a penalty on my record. And you left a scar on my shoulder that would never fade. I'll bury you. You'll bury you with my bare hands. Death. Death.
Well, he's doing a number on that, you know, on that wood. Anyway, 15 years earlier.
Chief Prosecutor, I'm sorry. Von Karma, it's not like you to make this kind of error.
I never would have thought that Edgeworth would be the one to catch you.
I was careless.
I'm sorry, but you will have to be penalized. I've covered for you in the past, but not this time.
Edgeworth.
It was a shock like
it was a shock like none I had ever known. Me penalized. It took hours for me to regain my composure. Suddenly, I found myself in the darkness. I was in the court records room. I must have wandered in there without thinking where I was going. The room was pitch black. The lights must have gone out. I went out into the hall and felt my way to the elevator. I pressed the button, but nothing happened. Then, there was a noise. I was in pain, a horrible burning pain in my shoulder. Just then, the lights came back on. The elevator door opened before my eyes. I saw 3 people inside, all lying unconscious from oxygen deprivation. Much to my surprise, a pistol lay at my feet. I knew then it was destiny. In his last moments, Gregory Edgeworth was still unconscious. He died, never knowing who had shot him. Later, he spoke through a medium, blaming Mr. Yogi. He was fooled. It was the perfect crime.
Even the dead man tells no tales. Even when he's resurrected, I guess. Temporarily.
Tisk, tisk, tisk. Who would have thought another man would have come to open that elevator door? Judge. What? What are you doing? Do your job. Bring an end to this miserable charade. Now, end it.
Very, very well.
It appears that we have come a very long way to the end of this maze. 15 years later, Mr. Miles Edgeworth? Yes, Your Honor. You are innocent. You are innocent? Or you were innocent? You are innocent. As you said, it was all a nightmare. Yes, Your Honor. This court finds the defendant, Mr. Miles Edgeworth.
Not guilty, yay! For real this time, hopefully, unless there's another thing that comes up.
That's all. This court is now adjourned.
Okay. Nick, we did it! Do you see his face? Well, Karma looked even paler than usual. He's pretending to be all cool, but inside you crushed him, Nick. Crushed! I gotta say, I'm impressed. I knew it was pretty close, though. I got one of the little parts where we had to show proof, wrong a few times, more than a few times. We almost actually literally lost, but I was sure we had it. I know, I was on the verge of tears the whole time myself, but now it's all just a good memory. So it's finally over, Edgeworth.
Right.
Yeah? I'm not sure how to say this. I know, try. Thank you. Arigatou gozaimasu. I see. Thank you, Wright. You're welcome. I think you could have done better than that. Sorry. I'm not good at this sort of thing. You got a lot to learn, Edgeworth. He's got you there. Whoa! Amazing, pal! You pulled through just like I thought you would. I'll never forget this. I owe you one, pal. And tonight, let's party. Dinner's on me. Yeah, my salary went down a bit this month. But who cares? See, Mr. Edgeworth? You should take a lesson from Detective Gumshoe. That's how you say thank you. I see. Whoa! Whoa! I feel foolish. Don't worry, take it a little at a time. You'll get used to it. It's been 15 years since I've seen Edgeworth this unguarded. Hey, y'all! Lada! Y'all, we're great in there. Well, thank you. Yo, Edgeworth, congrats! Thank you very much. I knew you were innocent from the start, of course. Just look at you. You wouldn't stick your hand in the cookie jar even if no one's there. You were the witness on the first day of the trial, weren't you? Yeah, well, let bygones be bygones, eh? Speaking of which, what are you gonna do now, Lada? Who, me? I went back to college. I gave up trying to be an investigative photographer pretty quick. Really? That's too bad. Is that the hot dog guy from the park? Huh? It's over, Nick. My life is over. Again, apparently. Why the sad face, Larry? What happened now? Oh, Nick, I'm not too long for this world. You don't look sick. It's Kion's. She's gonna live in Paris. Paris, Nick. Not again. She's leaving me behind. Should have seen that one coming. Oh, yo, Edgy. There you are. Yes, here I am. Congrats, Edgy. Here, a little gift from me in celebration. Celebration? That's unusual for you. Harry Butts, you come along tonight too. My treat, pal. Huh? Oh, thanks. Looking forward to it. Yo, Nick. That's the suit that questioned me. When he says tree, that's not police stuff or prison food, right? Right? I think you'll be fine, Larry. Right. Yeah, what's up? That envelope that Larry gave me, it's got money in it. Well, yeah, that's not that strange. People give money away to celebrate sometimes. It's $38, right? Huh, what a weird amount. I mean, it's not a little, but it's not a lot either. $38 exactly? Nick, wasn't that exactly the amount of lunch money that was stolen from Mr. Edgeworth in school? $38. No. No, Larry! It was you! What are you so surprised about, right? Huh? Larry was absent that day from school, right? But doesn't automatically rule him out as a suspect. What? Think back to that day 15 years ago. Larry took the day off, but he was bored, so he came into school anyway. Then he saw the money lying there, and the rest is history. I never was good at history. Edgeworth, you didn't know, did you? I suspected. I just couldn't picture Larry protecting you like he did that day. Everyone else was saying you did it. The whole class was against you, remember? Yeah, too well. Right. You may not know this, but we used to have a saying back in school. When something smells, it's usually the butts. I know. Really, Wright, I'm surprised you didn't figure it out. Well, this sure is an unsuspected turn of events, eh? Edgeworth. You should have told me. Now, Nick, it was 15 years ago. Don't you think the statute of limitations has run out, eh, Mr. Edgeworth? I'd say so, yes. There you have it. It's just like, punch him in the face now. How does that leave me? I became a defense attorney because of what you two did. Well, you've always been something of an insufferable emotionalist. Yeah, and you get worked up too easily, too. The damn set of both of you! Man, if only I had known I would have become a prosecutor instead. Oh, the same goes for me. Only the other way around. For the longest time, I thought I might have killed my own father. I thought I might be the criminal. I became a prosecutor in part to punish myself. If I had known the truth, I might have become a defense attorney after all. Oh, Edgeworth. Want to switch, right? Yeah, let's just switch spots. Come on, it's easy. Hey y'all, line up. I'll take a photo. Hey, photo time. Let's go. And after that, dinner's on me. Detective Gumshoe took us out on the town that night. We celebrated Edgeworth's newfound freedom, even though Edgeworth himself was still in detention. Okay, there you go. A job well done. Oh, I went a little overboard yesterday. My head hurts. It's only 5. Maybe I should go back to sleep. What's this? A letter? Good morning, Nick. You were really impressive yesterday. Seeing you, it made me think about what I'm doing here. I'm a spirit medium. In training, of course. I wanted to help Mr. Edgeworth too. I wanted to help you. But I couldn't. I was useless. So I've decided to go back to my training. I'll become a full-fledged spirit medium, for starters. I couldn't say it to your face, so I left this letter. Goodbye, Nick. Okay. Goodbye? What time is it? The first trains from the mountains have already left. To the station! As Maya's leaving? I guess I'm too late. Hey! Oh, Nick! Maya! So, you're leaving? Yeah. It's hard being a spirit medium who can't talk to spirits. And I think you'll do fine without me, Nick. Be good, okay? Wait! Hold it! What? I never could have saved Edward without your help. Huh? On the last day of the trial, I heard her. I heard Mia's voice. You heard my sister? Well, yes, only her voice, but still. It was at the very end when I thought we'd lost everything. Oh, that's my sister for you. Detective Gumshoe helped, and Mr. Grossberg, and even Larry. I'm the only one who couldn't help. I was useless, Nick. But you were the one who stopped Von Karma, Maya. Huh? I didn't do anything. All I did was wander around in a daze. Sorry, but I have evidence that you helped. Evidence? Show Maya some evidence to cheer her up. Well, the whole reason, we won this case is because of this. And this was the evidence that Maya helped get from Von Karma in the first place, right? So I think this is what we need to show. A bullet? Von Karma was convinced he had taken all the evidence pertaining to DL6, but you were the one who rescued the last piece of evidence we needed. This was the bullet that put an end to Von Karma, and you were the one who gave it to me. Nick. Thanks, Maya. I couldn't have done it without you. I'll be back soon. Huh? I'm going to complete my training and come back. Okay, I'll be waiting. Of course you will. You can't run that office by yourself, you're hopeless. I don't know about that. So, this is it. See you soon, Maya. Or, see you soon, Maya. Wow, CG. Thanks, Nick. And so my story ends. Time to turn a new page. And say goodbye to the novice defense attorney that I once was. Now a new story begins. With the same old crazy cast of characters. Huh. Don't think you graduated yet, amateur? Mr. Wright, perhaps you'd like to rethink that claim? Yes, Your Honor. Uh-oh, got a bad feeling about this. Okay, so I guess that little montage, I guess, going back to his old duties as a lawyer, and Edgeworth as a prosecutor. Amazing. Yeah, there you go. Oh, there's a bit more though. Hey pal, Mr. Edgeworth came to the precinct to wish me a happy new year. Talk about a pleasant surprise. Whoa, Detective Gumshoe! Then he hung his head low and ran back outside. Kind of like he was embarrassed or something. Strange, huh? I guess, yeah, these are the credits, but we get little scenes with characters. Isn't that great? The text is automatic though, so I don't know if I can keep up. Huh, Nick? Nah, haven't seen him lately. Who, me? I've been working at a cheese shop. That Missy's a nice lady, but she's not exactly what you call a cheap date. Oh, she's in Hawaii right now, yeah. Okay, Larry is still being Larry. Oh, Larry. No, Winston Payne.
Oh, right. Yeah, I remember him. I hear he's been busy lately. You know, not to ring my own bell, but I saw Tom everything he knows. I'm sure he's grateful.
Okay. Okay, the tutorial prosecutor. I'm sure we'll see him again. He's always the tutorial guy, right? Phoenix Wright, huh? The defense attorney for whom I wrote the affidavit for, yes. I should know. I've taken over the management of Gatewater Hotel recently. Should you be in the area, please stop by. No, he's not just the bellboy, he's the manager now. Oh, it's you. Phoenix Wright? Ah, yes, Mia's understudy, was he not? I wonder how he's doing. I haven't seen him of late. The days of my youth, like the scent of fresh lemon, you see. Have you atoned for your sins yet, Rose? I don't know if you have. I guess he helps out sometimes, but still, kind of like ruin the Faye family, you know? I don't know. Anyway.
Phoenix Wright. Is he an actor? Well, I'm not buying it. You can't be a star with a name like Phoenix. You know that they're finally putting some old movies on DVD, something like that, you know, the DVDs,
Anyway. Even faster text. Oh no. I'm pleased to announce the Pink Princess is a hit. I sure owe that Mr. Wright a great deal. Oh, and I'm keeping my face out of the public eye till the show's over. I wouldn't want to ruin any kid's dreams, you know? Yeah, I was wondering, is he the Pink Princess? It's pretty interesting. Guess it makes sense though. There's Penny. Oh, I got a letter from Maya the other day. It sounds like she caught a cold standing under the waterfall. Oh. I wanted to visit but didn't have time, so I sent her some Pink Princess trading cards. She says she can't buy them where she is. What kind of place is she living at anyway? She's living in the mountains, you know. I guess they don't sell cards there. Unfortunately for Maya.
Right? Who's that? You wanna talk? Let's talk Pink Princess. Alright. But, you know, I snuck into the studio the other day. And I saw her. The one inside the Pink Princess suit. What a dog. It's kind of a shock for a boy of my tender age.
Oops. Yeah, a little interesting scenes. We've got the characters. I think it's a nice way to wrap up, I guess. Yeah, I remember, right? That lawyer guy. Huh, me? I've been trained to become a paranormal photographer. You know that picture I took of everyone? Well, just behind them, there's a ghost. For real. Now that's talent. I'm gonna be famous. A ghost? A ghost. I guess that wouldn't be that much of a surprise. Considering, you know, supernatural and everything. Yeah, right there. She's right there. That's the ghost. Victory. Oh, and Gumshoe's always the one throwing the confetti, I guess. There you go. Made by Capcom. Amazing. Oh, how'd it? But there's one more episode. Aha! You know, because usually that was in the original game, that's all we needed to do, 4 episodes, and that'll be the end of the game. Of course, not the end of the trilogy, there's 2 more games, but at least for the first game, at least in the DS version, there was actually an additional case that you can do called Rise from the Ashes. So it's not over yet. It's not over yet. Let's just save there. And alright.